Hey, welcome back, my amazing student. So this is where we are so far, right? We got two habits here. We are styling this depending on what, if this matches. But yeah, we got a couple more things to do here. On the last lecture, we started this JavaScript functionality here where we are detecting the click event. Now, what I need to do is I need to pull the data from here to send it to the backend. So that way we can also do add check-ins and delete check-ins in the database depending on this clicking, right? So we have the data in here already that's coming in. So we can grab that down here and we can take care of business, all right? So we'll grab the habit ID. We'll grab the button data set, just like that. And I believe that I call it HID, right? We close that with a semicolon sometimes in JavaScript. You know, it's not needed as much as it used to before, but yeah, it's good to do, a good practice. We grab the other data set. I think we call it date. And we have that information here. You're welcome to actually log it if you want. Now, what I'm going to do here, and I think I got to look for that link. It's an Axios. I'm going to be using Axios package, which is going to allow us to send post requests to the backend. Give me a sec. I got to look for that link somewhere. All right, I got the link. And don't worry, you should have the link in your templates. So that's something you shouldn't worry about. I'm going to put the link right on top here. All right, so you can see now you can copy if you want. It's very easy. cdn.js deliver.net /npm/axios/dist/axios.min.js. Anyway, just in case for some reason I forget. Anyway, so once we have that, we can create a Axios post request. So I'm going to do that right here. Since we are using async here, might as well do a wait here, of course. We do Axios.post. All right. And we don't have that route yet, but we will create it in a minute. And we're going to call it toggle. And we're going to build this here. We're going to use this function in JavaScript that is going to send the right format to the backend. So that way we can accept this via request form with our application. All right. So we're going to send this object back. That's going to have the habit. We're going to take habit ID. As a matter of fact, hold on, yeah, this is fine. Yeah. Habit ID, and then we're going to send the date. And that's going to give us the ability to take this. And you'll see in a minute how we can handle this there. All right. So once we do that, as a matter of fact, I'm going to finish this by adding the reload here to refresh the page. All right. So this code should be ready. If we don't have any typos or any problems, this is going to allow us to send that request back in here. And we will create this right below here. All right. So let's go ahead and play around with this real quick. I think we got time. Let me see how many minutes I am. I'm 3 minutes into this lecture. So I'm trying to make these lectures really short. So let's come back here and I'm going to use this decorator and we're just going to pass toggle here just like that. All right. And then to create the function. All right. And we have the habit ID in here that we are going to take in just like that. We're going to be having that come in to us from this guy right here, right? Remember that we're building this and the reason why we're doing it like this is that way so we can use this here, all right? Because it's going to come in the right format. All right. Yeah, we got the habit ID and then we can get the date as well from the request form and the date, just like that. Now we can print this so that way you can see it. Let me use a F string here and we can say got toggle requests. And we can say from habit ID and we'll just put the habit ID in here. Okay, and we can also put the date. Right there. Okay, and let's just return that back so we can see it. So let's say, let's also create a package here. If you want, we can test this out by, let's just return okay here, right? Okay. We could JSONify this and make it JSON so we could get the REST data, the response back in the browser and see it in the console if we want, right? So right now, let's go ahead and refresh this and inspect it. We go to console here, and when I click here, right, it refreshes, and I'm actually refreshing the page. So, but you can see that here that it says got toggle request habit ID 1 and the date today, which is really awesome, right? Really awesome stuff. All right, I just wanted you guys to see that we are at least getting that stuff. Let me put this here so that way you guys can see it better, but we can see this, right? And you can see that toggle request ID number 1 with a different date here, a different date there. So that's what we're getting. So in the back end, we are getting that stuff. And now we're going to use that data here to either add a checking or delete a checking for that specific habit. All right. Remember that we have two tables. We have the habit table and the checking table. On the checking table, we're going to have, let me just open this up real quick. Open the recent. And you can see now in the checking that we have this column's habit ID and the date. So with this functionality on that toggle here, when I click on this button, I'm going to add a checking. And when I click it, when I toggle it again, right, when we add a checking, it's green, but when we click it again, it's going to toggle this to be off. So we're going to add checkings or delete them depending on that toggling of that button. That's simple as that. All right, that's basically what we're going to be doing. And when we change it, of course, when we do the toggling, everything changes here, the colors. So that's a way for us to let the users know, if it's checked or not. All right, so that's what we're going to do in the next lecture. I'm going to go into the next one. Guys, stay consistent. You're going to be learning a bunch of different things with me. I promise you guys, I'm going to make you ready to be the best developer possible. Just be consistent and do things when you don't want to do it. So that way you make your body ready for this. You create a habit. I'll see you guys on the next lecture.